Let's see if folks join me today on a surprise YouTube Live on a Sunday. Hello. Hello. Please announce yourself when you come into the room. So I know that you're here, so I can say hello. If you are a part of the replay gang, please shout out Replay Gang. If you are joining me and meeting me for the very first time, welcome. My name is Tracie Collins. Normally, I go live on. Hey, Dara. Hey, Dara. Hey, Angie should be back. Dara. God, in my brain. Hey, y'all. Normally, I go live on Friday nights, but a funny story happened. I was set to go live. I had everything set up. And fortunately, I hadn't crafted the e-blast yet to my community. And all of a sudden, around 3 p.m. our time, the internet goes out. And normally, when the internet goes out, if it happens, which is not uncommon, but it's also rare that it happens, it comes right back on. Child, it didn't come right back on. The internet did not come right back on. And we're like, okay, what is going on? So, honey, eventually she reached out to our provider and they showed up the next morning to fix it, which was yesterday, Saturday. Come to find out, y'all, rats had eaten through the internet line down the street. So he had to go in and fix it and do all of the things. So this is why it wasn't my fault. I know I've been gone for a couple of weeks. You guys know that I've been traveling. I am back from Oaxaca. I am ready to answer all of the questions and to talk about the experience. Also, I will be doing a Pick My Brain free session today at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just because I want to. I'm actually going to drop the link in a little while so you guys can join me for that. But yeah, so that was my weekend. That was my last couple of days. Well, no, that's not it. What else happened is I am nursing an ankle. That all of a sudden, since we came back on Thursday, so we went to Oaxaca, then from Oaxaca we went to Mexico City, and we spent about 4 days in Mexico City, and then we came home. And we had to come through Mexico City anyway, and it was our daughter's first time experiencing Mexico City. So nevertheless, we get home on Thursday, early afternoon, and child, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's because my age. I don't know. I don't know if it's because of walking. I did kind of twist my ankle just a little bit in Oaxaca, and I was thinking, well, maybe it's because of that, but it's where I'm experiencing the pain is not where I twisted my ankle. So anyway, now I am walking with a stick. Nursing my ankle, and I'm like, this right here. So that has been my life the last 72 hours. And now we're here today on a Sunday. So I wanted to make up our Friday Night Live. So please like this video. Please share this video. I know this is not my normal time, so I know there may not be as many people in here as it normally is on Friday nights, but I wanted to hold true to what I said. And I wanted to have a conversation about Oaxaca. I'm going to share some images with you guys. Hopefully me and StreamYard will do well with one another. But I wanted to share some pictures. If you guys follow me on my other social media channels, I have been sharing some reels and some images on Instagram, on TikTok, maybe a little of reels on TikTok and Facebook of our Oaxaca experience. So let me just talk about it. So if you are in the room, please drop and say hello to me, because again, this is not my normal time. And and I just don't want to feel like I'm talking to myself. Dara, thank you so much for saying hello to me. But Oaxaca was amazing. Oaxaca was just what I needed. It was absolutely what I needed. So one thing that's been going on with me lately is I've been experiencing really high blood pressure, like excruciatingly high, to where I've had a really, really, really bad dizzy spell. And I don't play with that. I don't play with heart related issues because I have a congenital heart anomaly and had two open heart surgeries when I was 2 and when I was 21. And I was born blue. So I have something called tetralogy of Fallot. And with tetralogy of Fallot, I was born without a pulmonary valve. So at 2 years old, they went in and they gave me an artificial valve. I don't know how I made it from 0 to 2 years old, but whatever they did, I was, able to get to my first heart surgery, and they gave me an artificial valve at 2 years old. And then at 21, it gave out, and they put in human tissue, and I haven't had any heart related issues since. And the doctor said I shouldn't have to have another heart surgery. I'm not on any medication. I've never been on any heart related medication ever. So all of a sudden here I am starting to have high blood pressure. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like to where I have to just lay down. Like I cannot afford for this. And I ended up putting myself on high blood pressure medicine just to get it regulated and to bring it down. I mean, it was like almost in the 200s, like the systolic and there's diastolic. And the systolic was like, I'm sure in the 200s, and the diastolic was almost in the 100s. And I'm like, okay, girl, you got to get this under control. Do you guys know the moment we got to Oaxaca, my blood pressure dropped to normal? I think the lowest that I had was 112 over 68. I ain't had blood pressure that low since at least 10 years. And it maintained a regular, normal blood pressure level the entire time. And so what that taught me, and this is part of the reason why I'm sharing this conversation with you guys, especially for people who are considering a life abroad, why altitude, elevation is so important, because I don't do any of the things that would lead to high blood pressure. I could lose some weight. So I have, since we've come back, I put myself on a no sugar diet regime. And that's relatively easy for me to do because I'm not a carbs person and I'm not a sugar person. So it's easier for me to put me on to do like a no sugar kind of thing. The only thing I was like, I'm gonna have my coffee in the morning. Outside of that, maintaining protein and veggies is my zhuzh anyway. Child, but when I tell you, if you are considering a life abroad, you absolutely need to take into consideration the climate there. So here in San Miguel, we have entered the hot season, which is April and May. It's the hottest time of year. It is, and then coupled with the dryness. And global warming has happened everywhere, so SMA is not any exception. But when you combine it with, this is not your normal altitude, or this is not, your body isn't climatized, meaning you weren't born here. So your body has to adjust to your new climate. And then we're dealing with the dryness of the air. There's been fires here, and the high altitude and the temperature. The temperatures are in the 80s, and we'll be going into the 90s. And it's just all of the things. So once my body hit sea level, which was in Oaxaca, my body was like, thank you. It really was like woosah. And I know it was a combination of being back at sea level, because I've always pretty much been at sea level or in a tropical environment. I'm from the Bay Area, and I was at sea level for the first 40 something years of my life. And then I moved to Atlanta, and from Atlanta, I was in a tropical environment. Atlanta has 4 seasons. It's very, very lush and green there. It's very moist climate in the air. So come to San Miguel, and I'm 6,200 feet above sea level, plus the dryness, plus the climate, it being extremely hot. So I say all of this to say, that's something to consider. And you would never know, my nose is running. You would never know this unless you relocate and live somewhere that is very different from what your body is used to. So since I've been back, and I've been saying this for a long time, that I need to be in a tropical environment. Not only did I experience just the humidity, and I love humidity. I love humid tropical environments, humid clients, climate. I love that kind of environment because it's so good for your skin and your well-being and your health and all of the things. So I was like, I got to make this a regular part of my life. So I will be back in either Oaxaca or another part of the coast of Mexico relatively soon. I haven't decided when I'm going to go, but it has to be a regular part of my life. And when my body responded the way that it did, when my blood pressure dropped to normal levels, um, y'all, it was more eye-opening than I expected it to be. So that's part one of what Oaxaca gave me and what Oaxaca brought to me. So we were on the coast of Oaxaca, just outside of Huatuco. So we flew from Mexico City to Huatuco, and it's about a 55-minute flight. So once we land on Huatuco, then we had a car drive us to Salchi, which is a very remote area in Oaxaca. And we get there, and the whole time you're driving is dry. It's very, very rural. And it's interesting seeing a place that's right next to the water, but it's also very, very dry. And Michelle had made a reference to that too. Like this is different, but global warming again is happening everywhere. So we get to the Airbnb where we were. So our guests had the whole hotel. So it was a boutique hotel that we had rented out and pretty much took over. Our group did. So it was only our ladies who stayed in Oaxaca. I'm sorry, who stayed in the hotel. And it was right on the beach. So you have a pool and then you have the beach at the same time, and seeing the ocean and hearing the ocean waves. And our Airbnb was just a few minutes up a path that we walked up and down every day. When I tell y'all, it was one of the most beautiful, beautiful places. Again, I'm from the West Coast. I'm used to the Pacific Ocean, but the Pacific Ocean in the United States and even in parts of Mexico are very, very dirty. Like, people think Puerto Vallarta is beautiful. And to some degree it is, but Puerto Vallarta, the Pacific Ocean, is dirty because it is also it's a port. So the cruise ships will dock, and there's a whole bunch of other ships there or boats there. And there's a lot of things that are happening in the marina in Puerto Vallarta. So it's just, ugh. That's like, I don't like Puerto Vallarta. So to see the blue and the different colors and the different shades of blue in Oaxaca, and it being the Pacific Ocean, it was like, oh my God, it's the most beautiful I have ever seen the Pacific Ocean be. Now, mind you, I've seen the Atlantic and I've seen the Caribbean Sea, and this is the most I've seen it equate to the Caribbean. Can y'all believe that? Can y'all believe that? So I am going, and hopefully I could do this right, because I want to show you guys some pictures of Oaxaca that were taken by our photographer that we hired to come a couple of days during the retreat, because we wanted to share the experience not only with the ladies who came so they can have additional keepsakes. We did give our guests some gifts. We gave them a yoga mat. We gave them a t-shirt. One of my leader t-shirts. I have on my leader tank top. I don't know if y'all can see it, but y'all see my leader tank top. And then they also had the leader shirts that we gave them as a part of the gift. And what else did we give them? It was something else. Oh, headbands. There were headbands that were used for the last day. And in the pictures on the last day, I'm not wearing a headband because it didn't look right on me because I don't have no hair. So it looked right with everybody else who had hair. Who had hair. Maybe I should have tied it on my wrist. I didn't think about that. But anyway. So I'm going to share some pictures with you guys. Let me find them. Here we go. So hopefully StreamYard will let me do this and I could do this right. Hold on. So I'm going to share the screen and, oh my God. Oh, here we go. Is this it? Okay. Can y'all see this? Let me know if you can see it. Let me know. There we go. Oh, cool. See, this is not what I'm used to. Okay, so I'm going to just show you some images. Hold on. So here's yoga. Can y'all see that? So that's our yoga instructor, Tahara, and our ladies doing yoga. And when I tell you I'm so directionally challenged, when it comes to like my directions, you'll see the ladies going one way and then I'm a whole completely different direction. Let me see if I can find that picture. It's so funny. I don't know, child. There's so many for me to go through. But so here's some beautiful images of us doing yoga one morning. And I will say this, it was a total of, here's me, child. I was like, look at that face. That is a mess. That is a purity mess. And this is my daughter in front of me, you guys. That's my daughter, Kayla, right here. Um, but it was a beautiful experience. Michelle was out there. Everybody did so good. Here's the boutique hotel, and that's the palapa and the pool to the resort. I keep saying resort, but it's a boutique hotel. Can y'all see this? Please let me know if y'all can see it. Say something. Say something in the chat so I know that you guys are seeing this. Please interact with this video because, like, come on now, y'all. So I know that what I am picking up, what I'm putting down, y'all are picking up. Let me see what else. Show you guys some good images. This is another one. And look at Sankeetha. She's like in perfect pose. So Sankeetha is my exit strategy attorney. And here's the leader shirts that the ladies wore, which is my leader company. And this is my merch company. And so she's in perfect position. She is Sri Lankan and she is my attorney. And she helped me craft my exit strategy for my company. What the hell am I doing over here? And this is somebody, like I actually do yoga. And here's Tahara, our yoga instructor. So I want to show you guys some additional things. Let me click back to y'all. Okay, yeah, y'all see the pictures. Thank you, Dara. Let me go show you guys some more. So here is a really good shot of us later on that day in our shirts. And total, we had 12 women who were present for the retreat. And this is the hotel from the exterior view. And here are some solo pictures that were done. This is my daughter, Kayla. Here's me. And mind y'all, okay, let me go back. Mind you guys, mind y'all, these pictures are unedited. And let me tell you something else. I didn't have on not near nothing underneath this dress. I didn't have on nothing underneath this dress. And then I was like, okay, Tracie, them titties are tittying. Okay, they sitting up. They're sitting up. I didn't have anything, no undergarments underneath this dress. Number one, because it was hot. And number two, because it's white, you'll be able to see everything. Like you'll be able to see something that's underneath it. So I was like, let me just not put nothing on. The cake is caking. Come on now. The cake is caking. I was like, and like I had on no makeup the entire time because it would have just melted off. So I don't even think many of us wore much makeup just because of the humidity. But so these images, all of these images that you're looking at are unedited. These are like raw images of us. So yes, girl, the cakes were caking. I was like, okay, girl, come on, almost 50. Let me see what else. Let me show you some other pictures. I thought this was a cute picture of me, kind of, sort of. My head is kind of looking, it's kind of twerked in a weird direction, but nevertheless, it's a cute picture. I haven't posted it. Here's a picture of me and my oldest. So this is my oldest, Kayla. She'll be 32 next month. She was born on Mother's Day. And this is us. So we have some cute, like, keepsakes of mother-daughter pictures of us. Yeah. Of course, Michelle. I love her to pieces. Let me see. Let me show y'all some other good images. Iona, who joined us, she was from the DMV area. Michelle and I swear, my jaw, this is why I'm losing the sugar. I removed sugar from the diet. I need to see if we had some food images. Because when I tell y'all the food was amazing, amazing. Here's some group shots of us. Some group shots. Look at that water, y'all. And when I tell you the water, the waves were crashing up against the rocks. Um, it was so soothing to hear the water and so tranquil. We advise people not to get in the ocean because of the current being so rough, and you would have just like gotten sucked in if you were not like an active advanced swimmer, and we didn't want any mishaps happening during that time. My attorney, I think she was such an asset to have join us. And when I tell you guys, the women that came, it was the perfect blend group of people, and it was everybody just experienced something. They were able to rest. They could partake in activities that they, if they wanted to. There was horseback riding, there was a day trip excursion, there were massages that took place, there were, what else happened? They could do nothing or they could do everything. And when I tell you they were so rejuvenated in the end, and that is what we wanted. We wanted we wanted women to experience what it felt like to be taken care of. We wanted women to experience doing nothing. We wanted Black women to experience the opportunity of, you don't have to think, all you have to do is just be. And they were able to do that. And so our mission was accomplished. There's always kinks along the way. There's always things that could be done better, differently. There's always improvements that can be made. But when I tell you, just overall, it was an absolute beautiful experience. This is Michelle afterwards, child. When I tell you, we was tired, boss. This was the Saturday before everybody checked out the next day. And this is our final dinner, our farewell dinner. Yeah. So that was Oaxaca, everybody. That was, I don't know how now I got to stop the screen share. Okay, stop screen. Okay, now I'm back. That was Oaxaca. So because of the response that we got, because of how well it went, especially for our first time out of the gate and doing the retreat. And so you guys know that for me, the retreat was something that I have wanted to do for a long time. And we have decided to do it every 6 months versus every year. So if you are watching this video and you want to be in the know of when the signups happen for our retreat in November, I just dropped the link. Add your name to the list and you will be amongst the first to know about the next set of signups. Now, I will say this, it is very limited because of space. The new dates are November 11th through the 16th. So that is a Tuesday through a Sunday, which is the same amount of time. And you want to jump on it because the sooner you jump on it, you'll be able to start making your payments versus having to pay a lump sum at the very end. And it also secures your spot. I will say this though, if being in nature is not for you and dealing with all of the things that come along with that, then you might want to rethink that because we're in their climate. There's bugs, there's ants, there's things that are over there. So you want to make sure that you're in nature. And for me, I love nature, so it works for me. If dealing with humidity and high heat is an issue, granted there's air conditioning in the rooms, but if being in that kind of climate bothers you, then again, you don't, this is may not be the experience that you want. But if you want to experience great food, if you want to experience doing nothing, if you want to experience networking with a bunch of people that you would not necessarily have come into community with beforehand, then this experience is for you. We did have a networking session where people talked about what they did. We didn't spend too much on it, but we wanted to give the ladies an opportunity to talk about their businesses, because you never know what resources are right in front of you. And it would be remiss of myself, especially Michelle too, but it's like, we have to make sure that we elevate these Black women in businesses. And when I tell you, we had myself and Michelle there, so our business strategist, and then Michelle and what she does at Casa Elm. We had two attorneys that were present. We had one forensic pathologist, and we had one who just retired. We had a social media strategist in the house. So we had different women in different sectors that will be there. Also, if you want yoga as a part of it, our daily yoga experience, Tahara was amazing. So she will definitely be back for our November experience. So that is Oaxaca. Thanks, girl. It was beautiful. It was absolutely an amazing time. I can't wait to go back for myself, because when I tell you, I just want to be fed to that level. I just want to be fed. I just want to eat. The food was fresh every day, meaning it was only two cooks in the kitchen. There were two Mexican women who would make everything from scratch every day. And if there were any dietary restrictions, they adhered to it. They definitely honored that. If there were any specific requests, those were honored as well. But breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and dessert was from scratch. They came around every day and said, this is the menu. They have vegan and vegetarian options. They also had a meat option every day, for every day, every dinner. Now, the breakfast and the lunch menu is prefixed, but it's made fresh to order. And they went and they picked herbs from the garden. We had Nepalus, which is cactus. One day they went and cut those cactus off the tree and scrape the needles off. And when I tell you, that is the best Nepalus I have ever had in my life. They broiled it, grilled it, whatever. And they had queso, baby, and I had the best black beans. I don't know. And we have been really trying to figure out how can we get that level of experience in our everyday life. I was like, I want to bring them women home. I want those women to come home with us. So make sure you put your name on the list to be in the know when it drops. There will be, everything will be broken down. We have an event coordinator who was excellent. Brianna was excellent throughout the entire time, how she communicated with the ladies and us. And every day the ladies got an update of a schedule that was happening from Brianna. So there was a group text every lady got. This is what's happening. You can, partake in it. This is the schedule. It was coordinated well. Michelle and I got, okay, such and such is arriving. They just landed at the airport. Like, this is a level of consistent communication that Brianna executed. The back end for us. And so, so, yay. If you guys are interested, we can't wait to have you and experience that with you. What else about Oaxaca? Kayla, what else? And another thing that I did like was the different age ranges. So Kayla and Tahar were our youngest that were there. They were 32 years old, 31 years old. Both were 31 and turning 32. And then we had our elders, or the oldest, who were probably in their late 50s, early 60s. So there was a good age gap too. And everybody in between, in 40s and in 50s in between. So it was, I don't know, it was a beautiful experience, but it was also a good way to get in community with people who you wouldn't necessarily be in community with and learn from each other. And we did do that. We did a taboo talks too. It was kind of interesting, our taboo talk. Our taboo talk was let's talk about sex. Pretty much that's basically what it was. And so if you see images that we've shared individually, I think I put some up of us in the pool, all of us who were in the pool talking. That's what we were doing. We were doing our taboo talks during that time. So people had the opportunity of putting questions in a bowl anonymously, and I read the questions and either would answer the questions or it would spark a level of conversation. But it was interesting because some people were very reserved. And the world that I come from, vaginas have been my life, my entire adult life. I've dealt with women from a health perspective, but then also just dealing with women in a wellness area. And now also intertwining that with business. So I can talk openly about sex and our experiences, but a lot of women tend to be reserved in that. And I can understand why. We're not used to having candid conversation. That's more of a white woman thing. That's more of a space that they've normalized having candid conversation about their bodies and sex and their experiences. So it was interesting. That was interesting. Okay, let me close stuff out because I have some browsers open and I want to kind of keep myself on track. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see what else. What else about Oaxaca? So we talked about my health experience. We talked about the retreat itself, and you guys are in the know of the signups that will be happening relatively soon. You have the preliminary information, which are the dates, and hopefully we will have the link ready to go and sign up. It'll be this month. I know for a fact it'll be this month because we want to give people enough time to take advantage of the payment options that are available out there. Yeah, the networking lunch was great. Um, and I don't know. I don't know. So that's what my life has been like. Let's talk about Mexico City. So we went to Mexico City afterwards. And I will say this about Mexico City. I absolutely love Mexico City, but I'm glad I don't live in Mexico City. Mexico City there's always something going on, and it is a very noisy, crowded, busy, active place. But I was able to, well, first of all, Kayla was able to see Mexico City for the very first time, which was the reason why we stayed there for a few days because I just wanted her to experience it. We were traveling through Mexico City anyway, and it gave her the opportunity to experience Mexico City. So we went to Chinatown. We had a great lunch in Chinatown. We went to the Ritz-Carlton, which is something that Rashida had turned me on to a couple of years ago, and on the 38th floor. So if you go to the Ritz and go to the 38th floor, it's a beautiful, like, panoramic view of the city. You get Chapultepec Park, and you get the Reforma, the Long Street Reforma where the Angel is. So you get to see the city from a different angle. And it was a beautiful experience to watch her see it for the first time. We did have great food in Chinatown. The fried rice, I'm still thinking about that fried rice. It was so good. But again, now mind you, I'm doing no sugar, so rice is not a part of my regime right now. But you have to go to Chinatown. You have to go to Chinatown when you get there. What else did we see? I don't remember. But we had lunch. We had dinner with some friends of ours who live there in Mexico City. So that was always good. We had dinner at a restaurant, a Japanese restaurant. Kayla and I had a great Italian food dinner the last night we were there, but it was good. It was good. Mexico City was good. Again, it's extremely noisy. None of us slept well in Mexico City. None of us slept well because of the noise. And when the big trucks rolled by, we couldn't tell if it was an earthquake or not because it was moving the building. The beds weren't comfortable. None of us slept well. So we were absolutely happy to be back here in San Miguel. And I was happy to be back just amongst our things, just amongst my stuff. I was so happy to be back here in San Miguel. I am going to drop for those of you who are interested in getting this tank top that I have on before I forget, Um, Also, oh my God, before I forget, so that's my leader store. And now that I'm back and I am off of the retreat and dealing with the retreat, you will see more marketing efforts around my merch, which I absolutely think are cute. And I'm a tank top girl. You always see me in tank tops. Number one is because I don't like being confined and I don't like clothes. I don't like clothes, y'all. I think I've shared that with y'all. I'm not a clothes fan. And my one of my goals is always let me just run naked in the jungle. That's another reason why I'm so attracted to nature. But the clothes that I wear tend to always be like yoga style clothes. See, like I have on my tank top and then I have on my yoga pants and stuff. Because I just like being comfortable. But I love shirts that say things on them. I have a whole bunch of shirts, and I used to have I still have them, a whole bunch of shirts that with sayings on them. So get your stuff from the Leader Store. 15% off your very first purchase. They're cute, they're girly because I'm a girl's girl, and they're also motivational, which I believe we all need always, especially during this climate. But let me see what else. Am I forgetting anything, Kayla? Oh, I'm going to go live, and this is going to be an interactive live this afternoon. If you are in the leader group, you don't need to come if you are in the leader group, but I am doing a live today. And this is a private, like, pick my brain kind of live today at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard, 2 p.m. here in San Miguel. But 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that is the Zoom link to join the conversation. And it's really because um, I want to just have great conversation with people. And it's an opportunity for me to share information and insight if it's like I want to live in Mexico, or what the process is like and what's happening and what's life really like, and then also how to, like, just the business questions that I can answer, some general business questions, because you guys may know I am having a masterclass, a 4 to 6 week masterclass that is happening April 6th. It starts April 16th. And I know people have seen the information and marketing around that. And this gives people the opportunity to ask questions, like a deep dive on what that class is going to be like. And the reason why I do what I do, and I had to really think about it. I was thinking, because mind you, I'm sitting up here nursing this sick, hurt ankle. I was thinking about, like, girl, why is it? And I just love us. I love us, and I just want to see us win. And I'm passionate about Black women and our wellness and our well-being, but I'm also passionate about us getting our money and getting our coins and being able to capitalize on the things that we know in our area of expertise. And I just thought I needed to say that out loud, because I don't think I've ever really said it to that level out loud. And someone shared something with me recently about, people think that they know everything that it is to know about certain topics. And that is not my outlook. I don't know everything there is to know about business. And I can say that out loud. I am a forever student in life, a forever student about myself, a forever student about business, because I want to be number one, and there's always room for improvement and growth. But things are ever changing. How people are receiving information, how people are consuming information, how people are relating to people these days or not relating, how things are resonating and landing. People are so much slower to pull the trigger than they used to be. And now people are wondering why aren't I getting clients? It's because it's not landing. There is the no like trust factor that people are heavily leaning into, coupled with the economy and the state of the world right now. And I've said time and time again, if you can launch a business and sustain a business during hard economic times when things get easy, then that's smooth sailing for you, because you've already laid the groundwork and you've done the hard work. But just like life, there are ebb and flows in business. And so it was interesting to hear somebody's take on that. They said, well, I know everything there. Well, how the fuck you know everything there is to know? Like, you better be glad you ain't working with me, because first of all, even though I work with women who are like experts and leaders in their, I work with extremely high intelligent women, and they realize they don't know everything there is to know. So number one, I'm glad that person was not my client, because I would have checked them really quick, and I would have been like, how's that working for you? Like, how's that working for you? Because if you have a client roster that you can't, you booked and busy to now and beyond, then okay, well, maybe I would take with a grain of salt what you said. But how's that working for you? Because, and I know for a fact that that is not their situation. So again, which leads me back to my point of why it's imperative to always be a forever student. And this is why you guys always hear me say, I study people, I study other CEOs, and oftentimes the other CEOs that I study are not even in the same industry that I'm in. And it's really because I want to see how they're showing up, how they're relating to their market or their clients, their target market. What are the things that they're doing? How consistently are they showing up? What are they talking about? What are they sharing? What are they saying? And it just helps me get better and better and more creative ideas and strategies that I then apply. And then I also listen to books on leadership and business and personal growth. So I say all of that to say, join the information session, or just, the Pick My Brain session that I'm doing later on today. I'm excited. Hopefully people will show up. Hopefully people show up, because people don't value free. People pay attention when they pay, and that's just the truth. But this is an opportunity for us to come together and for you to kind of, get an assessment, a brief assessment of where you are, where you want to be, and if I can add any kind of value, because I'm really about being in alignment. And that is a conversation that we had during the retreats about being in alignment. Women are moving at a rate of, I'm no longer going to do what is out of alignment with what I want for myself. Because what we have learned is operating in our masculine energy when it comes to what we do and what we offer to the world, it doesn't serve us in the end. The high rate of the constant level of I gotta produce and I gotta prove and I gotta do and be on the go all the time, it does not work for us. We feel at a deficit. We feel fatigued. Our bodies are suffering. We're suffering from a mental wellness aspect, meaning we're feeling overworked. We're feeling overwhelmed. And we're saying no more. We're not doing it. So what's happening now is I'm seeing a shift. This is because I don't know everything there is to know about business. I'm seeing a shift of how women in business and leadership we are moving, because if it is not in direct alignment with us, we know that it's not going to be a benefit, not only to us, but the people that we are serving. So a lot of times what the conversation is starting to go around is like, no, this may not be the right thing for you, or I may not be the right person for you. However, and I'm so happy for us that this shift and change is taking place, because now what's happening for these women is that it's calling in a different type of client. It's calling in a different type of customer. It's calling in something absolutely so different that it allows them to elevate their experience, It allows them to elevate their experience when working with people and serving people and adding value. So I'm happy for us. I'm glad that we are making that shift. If you are interested, I am going to get off. Hopefully you guys will join me for 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and share the information. Please like this video, you guys. I have a little bit of love, more hate relationship with YouTube. So like this video, but share the links. And here is my business class that is currently 50% off. If you are interested in joining, we start April 16th. It is going to be an intensive. It's a 4-week, and then you can elevate your package to a 6-week. But when I tell you, I've already given folks who have signed up homework. I have, because I'm notorious for homework. I don't work with novices. If you are a novice in business, I don't want you as a client because I can't help you figure that part out. But if you have a business and you are trying to either kickstart it, rebrand it, then I am definitely your girl. But share the information with somebody that you may feel will be of benefit to it. And I'm not coming to play. I'm not coming to play. I will spend some time making sure that you guys get what you need in that class. And it's about taking action and taking things to the next level. And again, it's also about being in alignment. And for me, it's also about being of value. I want to make sure that being a woman in leadership, that I am constantly adding value to who I work with. That is why, again, I am a forever student. Like, I have to study other people. I have to study people who are better than what I do so I can come back and then add value to the people that I work with and the women that I work with, because I care. Your win is my win. I want to see you win. I'm that silent cheerleader. Like, I'm that girl that's like, okay, let's get to the money, but you doing the damn thing. I know it's hard, but I got you. Like, that's me. That's who I am. That's what absolutely brings me joy. I'm gonna tell y'all something. That I don't think I've ever shared on here. Did y'all know I have two projects, one main project that has been being pitched in Hollywood for the last 5 years? Yeah. Okay, let's just say, about 5 years. And when I tell you, I have been so fed up, discouraged, and disappointed with it. And I'm sharing it to Shay because I don't know. I fucking want to tell y'all. Well, no, there's a reason to this. And for those who really know me, know that the art industry, or the creative field has been my very first love. It started when I was 8 or 9 years old, and I started going to acting school in San Francisco. My dad would take me to acting classes at ACT in San Francisco every Saturday morning. And ever since then, like, I've always been in theater. I've always been artistic. And I moved into more writing and producing in my not latter years, but more writing and producing in my 30s. And I have my mayoral proclamation I have, in Oakland, is around my arts and entertainment. So if you literally Google my name, and I hate to say that, but we live in that kind of world, I'm listed as one of the most influential people to come out of Oakland. I say all of that to say there's a point to this. I have been so discouraged around it because we have celebrity attachment to it. We have celebrity attachment on the front end, on the back end, and the level of racism and discrimination in the industry pisses me the fuck off. So I have given up on it. And there's two people, and I'm gonna shout them out. One of them is Robert Walker. He has been working with me for the last 5 years of trying to get this main project. I have more than one, but this one in particular, through the door. And he keeps pulling me back. I'll be like, Robert, I don't care. He's like, no, Tracie, don't give up. Don't. And I'm not a quitter. I just get frustrated. I don't feel like dealing with it. And then also, I'm like, maybe I'm just too old. And it's like, maybe it's not this lifetime. And he's like, no. And then there's another one who is Tracie Twinkie Bird. And Tracie Twinkie Bird attached herself to my projects back in 2021. We met. And if you type her name in, Tracy, she goes by Twinkie. But type her name in, she casted Fruitvale. She casted, I don't know, just Google her. But she just did the Lisa film that was on Lifetime. She's done, I think she did Jump the Broom. Like, she's done stuff. And she's been a long-standing, member in Hollywood. And Tracie has been, and she brought the celebrity attachment to the project that I'm referring to. So Tracie texted me while we were in Oaxaca. or Robert, yeah, Tracie reached out. She keeps telling me, Tracie, we got to do this project, Tracie. And I call her Tracie. Everybody else calls her Twinkie. I'm just like, here we go again. And when I tell you, I have been so discouraged to where I don't even want to do it. I don't even want to do it. I don't even want to do it. And those two individuals pull me back in saying, Tracie, don't give up. You can do this. Don't give up. And I say all of this to say, sometimes you need people in your life who know your level of greatness, even when you don't feel like it yourself, to pull you up and to bring you back, to remind you who the fuck you are. Who the fuck you are. And those for me in that realm have been that. And there's other people who, because I'm not a name dropper, so if I were to drop names, like, you would know who I'm talking about. But I said those names to say, like, sometimes you just need to have folks in your life who remind you who the fuck you are. And those are the people for me who have done that. And I just want to give them a thank you and a shout out. But this is why it's important to be in community with people who are in alignment with you, because sometimes when you don't feel like it, they're going to be the ones to cheer you on. And if you don't have anybody in your life who is like that, then you need to reassess your community. You need to reassess your crowd and pray for a community that elevates you when you don't feel like it. And I think that's what one of the things, one of the reasons why I created the leader space, my leadership community, is because of that. And I wasn't even going to talk about the leader community because that wasn't on my agenda. But this is what I do because I see women at different stages of their life. I see women in different stages. And not everybody who's in the leader community shows up every Tuesday for our meetings. But I meet with them individually if they're my private clients, because there's my leader group, but then there are also people in the leader space who are my private clients. And sometimes we can't see the forest for the trees. And it's been a joy to be in community with people where I can pour into them that way. So again, when I tell y'all, it is about being in alignment and being in the right community. And if nothing else, the retreat taught me that. The retreat, I'm dropping the link to my leader group, but the being at the retreat and then having conversations with women about alignment, and then with Tracie texting me, and I don't think I talked to Tracie last year because I know she was in heavy production mode. I knew she was doing the Lisa story. I knew she was doing it's like she did something else before that. But I knew she was in production mode, so it's like whatever. And I wasn't in the space to it. And honestly, I get tired of being let down. There's so much letdown in that industry. There's so much rejection. Thank you. There's so much rejection, and I'm okay with rejection because I tell y'all I fail all the time. I do, and to me, it's like it's just a part of the game. It's just a part of life. But there's so much rejection and disappointment in people that I was like, I don't feel like dealing with this. So when Tracie texted me, I was like, hey, I see you. And I didn't say nothing because she was like, Tracie, we got to get this done. And I'm like, and then what she did was she reached out to Robert. And then Robert was like, Tracie wants to, he calls her Twinkie. He was like, Twinkie wants to meet with you, Tracie. And I'm like, okay. So we were in Mexico City, and I was like, let me just wait till I get back home. And she and I spoke a couple of days ago. Yeah, we spoke on Friday, just as our the rats was chewing through the lines and the internet went out. And she just motivated me again. And she, I don't know, woke that part up. And then it brought me back to getting excited and believing in what I do. And at the end of the day, y'all, I just tell our stories. That is exactly what I do. I tell our stories through wellness and healing. I tell our stories through business development, and I tell our stories in an artistic fashion. And I tell our stories as Black women because we deserve our stories to be told. It's so much of us that's considered controversial. It's so much of us that is considered taboo. And We are the prototype. We are the original. We are the beginning. We are the epitome of. So why aren't our stories being told to where it's not? It's so interesting because everything has to be palatable for the white people. And that shit pisses me off. So when I talk about racism in the industry and the level of rejection I've received, it is because I tell our stories from a Black woman's view, because that's what I know. I tell our stories from a Black woman's lived lens because that's who I am. I can't help it that y'all don't like the truth. And it pisses me off because why people don't like the truth. And at the end of the day, what they're afraid of is karma. That's what it is. They're afraid of karma. But asking and requiring Black people who are artists and creatives to censor their voice because you don't have the temperament to accept what your folks have done, that's not an us problem. And so that has been my number one issue with the industry. I don't know why I ended up telling y'all that. And basically, I wanted to tell y'all because I guess because you need a cheerleader and people on your team that will pull you up when you don't feel like it and when you feel like giving up. And you need this in all facets of your life. I know this internet thing is acting up. I don't know what the hell is going on. But anyway, okay, I'm gonna get off here. Make sure you join me for the Q&A not the Q&A, it's the Pick My Brain session that I'm doing at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, let me drop the link again for you. It is up in the chat, but I'm gonna drop the link for you again. And let's come in there and let's just talk. Let's just have a conversation. Let's just talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. Hopefully, what I said to you guys resonated with you at some point. Again, if you are interested in being in the know when the Black Blossom Experience opens up again, we're actually considering another location too that I can't say anything about. Not for November, probably for the next one, but it is here in Mexico, and it's a place that again that I've never been, but it is in my astrocartography. So I'm so hoping that this becomes a possibility. And if you don't know what astrocartography is, it is where you are supposed to live so you can thrive. And so this particular place is my astrocartography. Yeah. Okay, let me drop. Did I drop the link? Okay, hold on. Let me drop the link again. So, I think I got rid of it. Go look in the chat. Let me start it. Okay, hold on. Anyway, there it is. I'm going to start. Put a star by it. So there you go. All right, you guys. See you guys in community. Take advantage of everything that I am, the information that I'm putting down. I want you guys to pick it up. I am here to add value to your life. And it is a value exchange. So I love y'all for being here. Thank you guys for joining me on an impromptu Sunday live because the rats ate through our internet cord and they had to come and fix it. And they was not in our house, but down the street. Okay. And I will see you guys on Friday. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.